So on this video, you're going to watch me put in my axle on the 8 3/4 Chrysler rear end because the axle seal I thought was leaking, but it turns out that the end plate was probably what was causing the bearing to come down and make the seal leak. So I learned that afterwards when I went to make another part for that car. But here it is, me putting in an axle, which I hadn't done since 1992 when I had a Roadrunner, and a cheap Roadrunner, but still it was. And yeah, I got rid of it. I kept it 13 years though, so hey, I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. So hope you enjoy this stuff, and hope you learned a little bit out of it. And I'm just going back 2 years when I put all this stuff together and made the car run so that I could run it on cheap gas during the COVID. That was my super goal. So I worked really hard to put that whole thing together, from brakes to driveline. I had to find transmission, had to find an engine. I had to get the car where I had to make my own engine mounts. I had to make all sorts of stuff work, but it was a lot of fun figuring out that kind of stuff. So here is 2 years ago when I was still fixing up just the driveline without having the engine or transmission in a Dodge Monaco 440, which was a 3D3, but I found a 440. You don't know that yet, or you do. Depends on what you're following. Love ya. You're welcome. Okay, so try not to knock anything over. You know, it's about February something. I'm working on Monaco. So this is the axle out of the 8 3/4 drive, and it had a leaking seal, was letting driveline gear oil come through the bearing and out the seal into the brakes on this type of axle. So we put in, broke out the new seal, old seal, put in a new seal, straight. It's going to ride on that, and we're going to put grease on that, gear lube, grease that bearing all up, and we're going to stuff the axle back in the axle housing. So I'm going to find some gear lube. It's in the hiding place. Ooh, royal purple. Expensive stuff for the 4Runner, because I wanted GL4, which was supposedly good for brass synchros in the old 4Runner. But we don't want this seal to get messed up. So we're lubing it up. We're lubing up the shaft. Shaft's lubed up with some royal purple. Seal will ride there. I'll stuff it in. I'm going to try not to have this ride on the seal and mess with it. So I'm going to go as straight in as possible. Oh, one more. These were on so I wouldn't lose them. So this is a pressed on bearing. It has a collar that holds the bearing on the axle with the press fit, and the axle is held into the housing via this plate. Voila. I haven't done this for a long time. 1992. Find the splines and the pumpkin there. There it is. That's it. Now put those nuts on, tighten down, put the brakes back together, and turn that off. Without getting it too grimy. And thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that button, what all they say. Even ring that bell, as another dude says. But I thank you and you're welcome.